What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to Chill with Pete. And this is like a coffee break catch up series where I chat to you usually about my life and, hobby, what's going on with me, that sort of thing. This is my end of year Chill with Pete. So, not even sure where I'm going to put this up. Think of it as like the King's Speech, but the mini Warzone speech. This is my speech chill about the year and the year I've had. And this is not going to be in any sort of order. So every day is a coffee day. That's the mug I got there. Made with that machine you saw in the intro, by the way. I'm just going to have a sip. So where to begin? Well, as you know, end of last year, I suffered a major, and I do mean major seizure. And I've pretty much been in recovery mode ever since then. Now, the first few months after that, heading into the new year, first quarter of the new year, were very hard, very hard. I mean, I wondered at one point if I was ever going to be back into the hobby ever again, or whether I was going to be able to paint ever again, because my hands were just so shaky. I didn't know. I came into this room, I swear, and I didn't, for a split second, I didn't believe that all this stuff was mine. I didn't remember it. That sounds like a crazy thing to say, but I swear to you it's true. Hand on heart. Absolutely true. I had no memory of most of the stuff in this room. All the books behind me, for instance, all those models up there. I thought, oh, I never bought them. That's not mine. Looks cool, though. I did have the joy of rediscovering loads of stuff again. So that was fun. At this stage, I now know. Yes, of course, I bought all these things. These are my items. These are my objects. And yeah, it took me a while to get back into making videos again. They weren't the best. I know they weren't, but I did try. I really did, just to get content out there, really, and to get back into a sort of routine. Routine, I think, is the best way of putting it. So, yeah, but health wise, it took me a good 9 months to recover physically. And I think I'm only just about there now. And we're over the 13, nearly 14-month period since the incident. Still haven't got my driving license, so I'm a bit narked about that, to be truthful. I wouldn't have driven anyway, so who drives when you don't feel able to drive, right? Well, I don't know anymore. That's people for you, and I'll come on to that later. Have I changed as a person? That incident changed me. It changed my life in a few ways. It's changed my personality. I don't know if it's the incident so much as the medication, although I am adapting quite well to the medication. And although I'm getting back to where I was once upon a time, I ain't there yet. So, personality wise, I have changed as a person. I don't give a shit anymore about what people think of me so much. I used to. Before the incident, I didn't care a lot, but I cared a little bit about what people thought about my views on things, or if I thought a certain way. I was always trying to people please, try and put myself in the best light for everybody concerned. I don't do that anymore. I just say what I think. I don't mean be rude. I mean, if someone's talking about, they ask me what I think about something, and the majority, say, of the group or the social group or whatever it is, work group, team, whatever it may be, they all say a certain thing. They're quite follow each other, a bit like sheep, really. But if I disagree with that, I will say, no, actually, I think this way. And I don't care what they think about me for that. I don't care. Now, I've been more, I don't know if depressed is the right word. Mentally, not challenged, because that makes me sound like a complete imbecile. No, I've been mentally hurdled. Come across a lot of hurdles mentally. I've felt emotionally a lot of downs this past year. Now, I think social media has a lot to play in that. I try to stay off of it as much as possible. Obviously, YouTube is my passion, so I'm here for that. So far so good. It seems to be playing out okay. I've still got my channel and a lot of channels that I subscribe to. They're still going strong, so that's all good. Nice little community there, so that's cool. I came off Facebook many, many, many years ago. I have an Instagram account which I only really post, the odd picture here and there. It's not a solid thing I do. I suppose it's my only contact left with certain people. Let's go and have a sip of coffee a minute. But the way the world is at the moment, particularly in my country, I live in the UK. Current political climate combined with social media has made it feel, and I don't want this to be a political. This isn't a political statement. It's not a political channel. I don't air my views politically on anything. I've got to the age where, so when I was younger, I just used to avoid politics at all costs. It's not that I'm into politics, but there comes a point in your life where you realize that it affects you more than you used to, and obviously I'm at that age. So this year, with the combination of social media and our current political climate, is probably the first time in my entire life I've felt like I live in a dictatorship. All right. So I'm not putting any political statements out there. I'm not saying anything. Take from that what you will. To be honest, if somebody wants to unsubscribe from me because of an opinion I have about something, whether I like apples over oranges or whatever, then you're probably not the right viewer for me anyway. But everybody's got their opinions, and I will just say that I feel fortunate to live where I do, because although I'm kind of out of the big city kind of thing, which is cool, which is great, I feel a little bit more sheltered, shall we say here. But I know that there's going to come a time where I'm going to have to make a stand at some point, and yeah, I hope I've got the energy to do it, because life is difficult at the moment here in the UK. I would say for a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody. All right, so before everybody jumps in and says, "Oh, it's not difficult at all," that's good. I'm glad you're okay. But cost of living has shot up exponentially. I'm not 100% convinced on the figures for inflation. It doesn't quite add up. I'm no mathematician, but I've been doing a little bit of work and research, and it just doesn't quite add up for me. Cost of living feels higher than they're saying it is, and it's high anyway. I mean, I used £10 in heating just for one day once, and I only had it on twice, less than an hour. yeah, so energy bills, just says one thing, So this year, um, for the sake of this video, this year, let's just say this year has been tough. One of the tougher years since I was a student, living from hand to mouth. It's been very tough. And my hobby has been the only thing really that's kept me mentally afloat, right? Because I love the hobby. But problem is, I haven't had much time to do it because work, work, work. It's just work. And you guys know this, you're 2 days off at the weekend. It's not enough to rest and recover and decompress, is it? You need at least 3 or 4 days to get over a bad week, don't you? It's just the way of things. But yeah, that's just the way it is. Gorgeous sunny weather here at the moment, by the way. So if you see, like, on my head, sun coming through the blinds right now. So it is bright sunshine here. That's probably why the lighting is such that it is. I'm just gonna have another sip of coffee. I will say before I move on to the next subject, I wish you all well. I hope you are all doing really well. Um, health wise and life wise and everything else. We're all different. We're all at different stages in life, and we're all at different severity points along the way. That's what I like to call them. But yeah, so you may have seen this year I bought into Space Crusade. It was a game I used to have when I was a child. I've bought myself a couple of sets of that, and I've started. Well, I did start to, and I'm still doing it. I am still doing it. Only yesterday, in fact. Paint them up. I'm doing the Blood Angels at the moment for Space Crusade, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm also in the process of filming a Minkle-esque painting tutorial. I've not got the camera situation quite right yet, but I'm hopeful that it will get better in the future. I'll try and get it better on the next tutorial. I can't really do that on this tutorial because 3/4 of it is almost filmed. So yeah, I had to break it down into 4 parts in the end, and I'm hoping I'm going to squeeze it into those. I did ask if you preferred the longer videos or the shorter ones. You kind of massively went in favor of the longer ones, so that's what I've done. And yeah, hugely enjoying it. I love to make them. What I like, my best part of it, right, other than the painting itself, is getting all the clips together and then doing the voiceover like this whilst watching it on the screen in front of me. So I can see the process and remember it as I did it. So that is good. So I got into that. I also got myself an old Hero Quest set because I loved that. I adored it as a child. And, well, I say child, I was a late teenager by the time it came out. Showing my age here. I also got the later Hero Quest set, and I've got a couple of expansions for both of them as well, so that's good. The Hero Quest set, newer one, is still shrink wrapped. I bought into Marvel Crisis Protocol. You must have seen that by now, and I've done unboxings for both the old core set and the later one. Because I wasn't impressed that the later one didn't include assembly instructions. That I have to go online and download the assembly instructions, which is a pain. It's a real pain. I'm going to give it a go. Once I've done my Blood Angels, I will pack them away for a certain amount of time. And then I'll have a go at assembling all the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures. I think that's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to do that. That's going to be brilliant. I've bought myself, not myself, but I bought us every year. Usually we get, comes up to Christmas time, we buy a box of biscuits with cheese, and I like to get those orange plastic tub ones so I get the big tub after, and I can put all the loads of stuff in it, whether it's terrain, miniatures, whatever, supplies, and I got one for that now. I don't know whether I'm going to keep Space Crusade stuff in it, role playing miniatures in it. I don't know, but I need it for something, terrain, whatever, right? So that's going to be good. And also, my role playing escapades. I've been talking about it all year, and it's never come about. That's probably, I would say, 90% of the reason that never came about is due to my health and the getting over of last year's seizure, which I'm still getting over. Still finding my way with myself and life. Like I say, I feel I've changed, but got to adapt and move on. Change isn't always for the worse, is it? Sometimes it's for the better. Maybe it's just, I've done with a certain point of my life and I need to move on. And that's why I am the way I am. Now, just going to have another sip of coffee. This is one thing I like about this microphone. You can't hear me drinking. So I don't need to edit that out. That's good. Oh, dearie me. We're going to be going to, we're taking my sister this evening to pick up her new dog, which is exciting. Flown over from Cyprus. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to be another thing. So we'll have rescued another animal between us this year. We've done well with Dylan. Dylan has come on. Dylan is probably the main success of this year for me, in my book. Dylan, if you don't know, is my dog. Got him from Cyprus last year. Last year. Is it June or July? Can't remember now. Might be July, but I might have got that wrong. It's June or July anyway. Anyway, so last year, but this year he's come on in literally leaps and bounds. The bond between us is so strong now, but we're really getting to know each other still. Still get to know each other, and because you can't take your foot off the gas when it comes to training a dog, as I'm sure a lot of you know. The moment you do that, they revert to like as if they've never had a lesson in their life. If you're not careful, until they get to a certain age, you got to keep on top of it, especially through what they call the teenage years. So I've been doing that. That's why I've been doing a lot of shorts. You might have noticed my shorts have increased. A lot of them have been out with Dylan on walks because like the sunrise is just so beautiful, or something like that. The Christmas lights, things of that nature. Just things that catch my eye, really. Things that are on my mind. I like to do a short on, and they've been very successful this year on the channel. They've been hugely successful, and it's surprised me, it's been a pleasant surprise. Very nice. So thanks for that. I also have to thank you guys, those of you that have stuck with me all year, and even more so those of you that have stuck with me since the very beginning. You've been with me for many, many, many years. Almost a decade on YouTube, and wow, it's been a long time. My channel hasn't, taken over the world. It was never meant to, and it still isn't meant to. It is there to give me a grounding for my hobby, an outlet, a small but cool viewership. I find that channels that grow to a certain size, they can change as well. I don't mean the people, but the channel just seems to change its ethos, and then they feel, I guess, that they have to put out content on a regular basis. It kind of, there's a switch that happens, and I find then, this is my own perspective, I find that their content declines. I'm not saying my content's brilliant. I'm just saying, but overall, the channels that grow, they feel they have to keep putting video after video after video. Generalistically, I think the quality of the enjoyment for the videos is less. That's just how I see it from my point of view. And that's not having a go at anybody or the way YouTube is set up. But, everybody's doing it for different reasons, aren't they? Some people are literally there to earn a living. And as nice as that would be, That's not it's not earning me a living, I can tell you that. But you know, it's better than sitting on your own in your room. It's a way of talking to people without talking to people. Talking to a camera. It's so much better, you know. I it's perfect for people like me. Someone like me. I'm not the greatest social person out there. I struggle in social situations. Some people seem to deal with it very, very naturally. I'm not one of those people. I like to measure my thoughts and what I say and how I respond to things and all of that good stuff. So yeah, it's more about me than the channel. But the channel is doing all right. The channel is doing all right in my book. Please keep those views coming in. Give me some questions too, if you wouldn't mind, so I can. I wouldn't mind doing another P and Q in the new year, or even just next year. You know, if I get one together by my birthday, that would be good. I know I bashed through the questions I had. I had loads of questions, didn't I? I really got through them. It was just so nice when I was filming, doing lots of questions one after another. It felt good, and I just wanted to enjoy that moment and stay on that train. Basically, that train of enjoyment. Answering people's questions. I know I should say who asked them. I know that, but honestly, they were just questions on a. They're actually on an old memory stick I had. You know, when we moved, there's literally I came across them. You've heard this story before, and then they were on a file. I thought, well, this just seems a shame to let them go to waste. Some of them are really good questions. Looking for it, I was like, ooh, gonna use them, but I've run out of them all now. The last P and Q, the Christmas P and Q, that was the last of the questions I had. There were a couple of questions I picked up from videos on my actual channel this year, and I did those as well. And I was able to remember who asked those questions. So moving forwards, I'd like to do that again. I'd like to get back into P and Qs. I like it. I like it a lot, especially with the way the world changes, the business of the hobby changes, products change, games change, and people playing them change. So you know, and opinions change. That's the main one, isn't it? I'm just gonna finish my coffee. Mm. There you go, coffee all done. I've got myself this camera and this microphone. That was another thing that was all done this year, and my MacBook that I'm using to record this on that was a Christmas present from last Christmas, which was so awesome. My wife got me this, even though I was a different person to her at that point. You know, I was. She didn't know if I was ever coming back. You know, that's how bad I was. Anyway, so it's been a hell of a year. It's been a real roller coaster of a year, and I'm hoping next year, 2026, could be. I'll say more of a rebuilding year, but maybe the start of new beginnings, perhaps new playlists, new games, new outlook on different stuff like tutorials and things, and hopefully I can get into a flow with tutorials and find my way with that. I believe I found my way with doing the paint along videos because I tend to do them very similar. Um, uh, this is Chill with Pete, and as you can see by the setup, it's changed, so it's evolved. I can still go back to the older format at any time if I so wish, and that's what I would do. Other than that, we had some stuff done with the house. We had a guttering done on the front, so you know it's been a busy year. It's been a busy year. AstroTurf out the back's come up on half of the garden, but it's still a bit patchy. So I'm hoping this summer, the next summer, it'll grow out, and Dylan will then have natural grass to roll around on and lay on and whatever. It's in the cooler part of the garden as well, even in the hot sun, so that'd be better for him. And the other AstroTurf I'm thinking of taking up as well. I'm just grassing that. I got myself a strimmer, you see, because it's not a very big area. Probably just cut it all down with a strimmer, you know. And that'd be good. AstroTurf's all very well, but you can't beat the real deal, can you? Anyway, I think I have taken up more than enough time. What are we on here? Sorry, I have to lean forward because I haven't got my glasses and I can't see. I literally can't see the screen. Coming up, well, we're over the 25 minutes now, so approaching the half-hour mark. That's about average for a chill with Pete. So, without further ado, I'll say, I hope you all had a nice Christmas, and I hope you all have a happy new year, and I hope you all have good years ahead. My year was turbulent this last year, and I'm not happy with the current climate in my country. There's a lot of unrest and a lot of uncertainty, I think. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope things will change for everyone concerned. In the meantime, just keep on hobbying. That's it. This is the King's Speech, Mini Warzone Speech 2025. I'll see you on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.